Okay. Good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome to your 2021 two-day FSTS graduation. So far this year, UPS has graduated an abundance of frontline supervisors, and today we are here to celebrate the graduation of 11 more. So pat yourselves on the back, guys. I just want to let you all know that I'm really proud of the work that you all have done over the past 2 weeks. But I also want to let you know that after this graduation, after this class, it doesn't end here. It can't end here. And I'm going to leave you guys with 4 words. Captain stole my thunder a little bit, and you all heard me say these words during the class over the past 2 weeks, but remember them now. Keep that same energy. So during our class, we talked about accountability. We talked about how important it is to hold the people that we lead accountable as well as ourselves accountable. We talked about how it's important to not just follow the standards, not just to communicate the standards, but to own the standards. So after this class, when you guys leave and you go back to your operations and the time comes down for you to either hold your people accountable or take that second and look in the mirror and ask yourself, are you doing what you're supposed to be doing? And it's time for you to hold yourself accountable. I want you to remember what we talked about in class, and I want you to keep that same energy. We learned about communication and how to effectively communicate with our people. We talked about the 4 phases of communication: nonverbal and verbal input, interpretation, clarification, and shared meaning and understanding. We talked about where communication fails is because people don't go through phase 3 and phase 4, and how important it is to make sure that you ask questions, you clarify, and make sure there's a shared meaning and understanding on both sides. We talked about how talking is not the most important thing in communication. It can be listening. You have 1 mouth and 2 ears for a reason. So 1 year from now, when you go back out to your operations and you have to make the decision on whether you're going to give the people that you lead the time to listen to what they have to say, their questions, their concerns, their comments, if you are going to responsibly communicate, I want you to remember this class, and I want you to keep that same energy. We learned about the differences between a leader and a manager. We talked about how management is tasks. You manage people, or you manage tasks, you lead people. We talked about how being a manager can just be a title, but being a leader, you earn that. In leadership skills, we talked about how leaders inspire, they motivate, they empower others. You guys all want to come away from this class being effective leaders, right?
Yes.
Well, when you go back out into your operation 2 years from now, and the time comes down to, am I going to go out there, am I going to lead my people, am I going to inspire my people, or am I going to let my folks just come to work for their paycheck? Am I going to change the culture so my people aren't coming to work just to get a paycheck? My people are coming to work because they want to work for Jose. My people are coming to work because they want to work for Casey. They want to work for Shelby. They want to work for their leader. I want you guys to remember this feeling right now, and I want you to keep that same energy. We learned about how to keep a world-class safety culture in our operations. We found a way each day throughout this workshop, throughout this class, to tie safety into the importance of everything that we've learned. Why safety should be not just a priority, but safety and the wellness and the health of our people is a personal value. You guys talked about why safety is important to you, and you also heard from me on why safety is important to me. So 2 years from now, when you guys go back out into your operations, and you know that day's gonna come, operations going rough, things are going down the toilet fast, and you have to make the decision, am I gonna make shortcuts for the sake of service, or am I gonna make sure that I step up, I hold my people accountable, I hold myself accountable, and I lead my people in the right way to keep them safe each and every day? I want you to remember how we talked about how important safety is in class, and I want you to keep that same energy. So the journey you guys are on is not an easy one. You've been told throughout this 2 weeks by many others than myself that the frontline soup position is the most important and most critical position that we have here at UPS. And they weren't lying, they were right. You guys are literally on the front line. But I want you to know, to me, you're more than that. You guys are emerging from this class with the tools to be effective leaders. Now note, I didn't say that you're leaving this class as leaders. Just because you came to FSTS for 2 weeks, you sat and you listened to me for 5.5 to 6 hours every single day, just because you're in this fancy conference room and you're about to leave with these fancy certificates with their fancy stickers, awards, and accolades on them, that's not what makes you a leader. What we did is we provided you guys a toolbox. We gave you all a toolbox that you can take from here, take out to your operations, and if you use it every single day and you practice, that's what makes you a leader. That toolbox can't sit in the corner to collect dust, and you bust it out when you remember it's there or when it's convenient. You have to go out into your operations each and every day, and you have to strap that toolbox on, and you have to be prepared to use the tools that we've given you in this class each and every day. And you have to practice, and you have to practice, and you have to practice. And before you know it, you will be that effective leader that I know each and every one of you can be. But guess what? It's not gonna happen unless you do what? Keep that same energy. So, as you guys know, this was my first opportunity to lead FSTS, Frontline Supervisor Training School, this year. And this is even more special to me because this is my last class of the year. I'm trying my best not to tear up. Yeah, I'm really gonna miss you guys. I have to say a few thank yous. Number one, I have to shout out a thank you to my partner, Megan Reese, the FSTS coordinator. You definitely made this year a huge success. I couldn't have done it without you. This would not have been the same class without you, so thank you. I want to give a thank you to the Air District staff who came through to our class and gave their contributions. I want to give a special thanks to Captain Norman Seawright, that guy who came and talked about leadership to you guys, and I'm hoping you all take something away from that talk. And I also want to give a special thank you to Jeff Simonic for coming through and giving his contributions to the class. So guys, I'm proud of you. Clap it up for yourselves one more time. You know, leadership is not just about how good you are yourself. Leadership is also about how good you make those around you. And so I can say, and you know, not to toot my own horn, but after every class, I can confidently feel like I gave something to everyone who's in my FSTS class. But I want to let you guys know, as leaders, you all made me better too. I try to take something from each and every person that steps into this classroom, and that was definitely a success this time around. So I want to thank each and every one of you. So don't forget what it takes to be a successful management person, because if you do, I'm gonna have to remind you. It's been almost 10 years that I've been with this company, and when it comes to leadership, for y'all, I have a couple of tools, ×2. Y'all thought you all were effective leaders 2 weeks ago? Well, after this class, you can be that, ×2. In FSTS, we work on our time to influence the future leaders that this company needs when it's time to. And it's time to. So with that, we're gonna start FSTS graduation. For the audience, just so you guys know, while I am bringing the participants up, the graduates up, you will hear me shout out a few accolades. During the 2 weeks, we gave the class the opportunity to vote on a few things. They voted on who they felt like came to class every day, dressed for success, our best dressed winner. We voted on the person that we feel like started out in class kind of quiet, kind of shy, but really came out of their shell, our most improved. And we also voted on someone who we felt like gave great contributions to the class, spoke very professionally, and that is our Legacy Award winner. You will also hear me announce who received a perfect test score, as well as our 2 groups that won our group points competition and our group project competition. So with that, I'd like to start off by introducing Shelby. Shelby was our Jim Casey Legacy Speaker Award winner and was also a member of the group Planes, Brains, and Boxes, who won the group points competition.
Hello, my name is Shelby Devaney. I work in 2-day marshaling. I work for Benjamin Armstrong, Chris Harris, and Brendan Fortson. And the main tidbit I'm getting out of FSTS is simply the importance of frontline supervisors in the operation of UPS.
Next, I'd like to introduce Kim. Kim received a perfect test score and was also a member of the group Planes, Brains, and Boxes, who won our group points competition.
Hi, my name is Kim Davis. I work in 2-day low planning. I work for Chris Host Connect, Mike Moody, and Brandon Fortson. What I'm taking away from FSTS is a lot of new friends, a lot of new connections that I've made that will help me in my job every day, and just meeting great people.
Okay. Next, we have Aaron. Aaron received a perfect test score. He was our FSTS Knowledge Bee winner. I forgot to announce that. We also stood everybody up in a circle and we asked review questions from the whole 2 weeks until the last person standing, and Mr. Aaron was the last person standing. So he's our Knowledge Bee winner and was also the third and final member of Planes, Brains, and Boxes, our group that won the group points competition.
My name is Aaron Joswiak. I work in Wing Bravo Unload under the management team of Savannah Bryant, Justin Weebrink, and Gary Kelly. A couple things I took away from FSTS is how to be an effective leader and the responsibilities of being a part-time UPS supervisor. I enjoyed learning more about what UPS is all about and the organization as a whole. Thank you.
Okay, next we have Kelvin. Kelvin was a member of the group UPS of Tomorrow who won our group project competition.
My name's Kelvin Bartlett. I work for John Bird, Chris Harris, and Brandon Fortson, and I work on the 2DA realm. And what I take away from FSTS is how to become a better leader and how to keep my people safe.
Next, we have Regina. Regina was a member of the group UPS of Tomorrow who won our group project competition.
Hello, my name is Regina Johnson. I work in 2-day Wing Charlie. I'm under the management of Beth Glasscock, Tom Schaefer, and Gary Kelly. A few things that I'm taking away from this FSTS class is to have the passion that Miss Megan and Miss Lauren have for their people. Also, the friends that I've made here and the confidence that I have in myself now that I didn't have when I got here. Thank you.
Okay, next. We have Gabriella. Gabriella was the third and final member of UPS of Tomorrow who won our group project competition, and Gabriella was also voted by her classmates as most improved.
Hello, my name's Gabriella Sherrard. I work in 2DA Wing A Hub. I work under Michael Martin, Doug Smith, and Gary Kelly. What I learned from this class is how to be more confident and how to speak to people properly and how to keep my people motivated during the operation.
All right, next we have Jose. Jose received a perfect test score.
Hello, my name is Jose Carrillas. I work in Wing B and Outbound. I want to shout out my full-time manager, Lauren Rose. I got Justin Weebrink and Gary Kelly. What I got from FSTS is that I gained a lot of friends. I want to say thank you to Lauren and Megan. They taught me a lot of skills. One big thing is how to be a leader. Thank you.
Next, we have Casey. Casey received a perfect test score.
Hello, my name is Casey Howard. I work in the 2DA freight facility. I work for Mary Lyle, Tony Meeks, and Steve Merchant. I think the biggest thing I took out of FSTS was how to become a more effective and better leader, and I just appreciate all the knowledge that I've learned from Megan and Lauren. Thank you so much.
Next, we have Brooke. Brooke received a perfect test score.
My name is Brooke Jackson. I work in 2-day air. I work for Angie Valley, Doug Smith, and Gary Kelly. One thing I took from FSTS class is how to communicate better and how to be a proper leader.
Next, we have Jimmy Wheatley.
Hello, I'm Jimmy Wheatley. I work in 2DA Freight as a load supervisor. My management team includes Shelby Minton, Tony Meeks, and Steve Merchant. I think the biggest thing I got from FSTS was just seeing all the different perspectives from different people's areas. How they manage their employees, how they influence, motivate their employees, and just gaining those tools, gaining more tools in my tool set. Like Jeff said when he came, the more clubs you have in your bag, if you're a golfer, the better you're gonna do. And I really took that to heart. You know, the more tools I have in my bag, the better job I'm gonna be able to do. So I look forward to using those tools out in the job.
All right. And last, but definitely not least, we have Gloria. And as you will see, Gloria was voted best dressed by her classmates.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Gloria Paredes. I work at 2DA Small Sword, and I work under the management of Josh Walker, Michelle Ferris, and Gary Kelly. What I would take from my FSTS, is wonderful people, not only on the hub, not only on the wings, but as a family. And that's what we are to everyone out there. We are a family, we are leaders. So it's been great being in this class. I'm taking my toolbox along with my policy. And I think this will be part of me as I proceed with this career. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. So now I'd like to give another special introduction. Again, I told you all that we voted for the person that we felt like presented very professionally to the class, who every time they spoke, they had something that was extremely value added and gave great contributions to our class. And that is our Jim Casey Legacy Award winner. So without further ado, please clap it up for Shelby Devaney.
Thank you so much, Ms. Lauren. In fact, before I start, I'd like for all of us to give a round of applause for Ms. Lauren and Ms. Megan, because it's been an absolute honor to have been under your tutelage. And I remember working with you in the thumb, so it was good to reunionize with you again. And this goes to show that once you leave a certain area, you would think that, well, you're never going to see these people again. Not so much. I never thought I would have to work with Miss Lauren again, not because I didn't like her, but because I thought, well, this place has all these thousands of people, but lo and behold, here I am again, working with the tag team with the boss lady over here. So let's give them a round of applause. All right, for future reference, I'll be taking a look at page 56 of the Legacy book, and it's gonna go a little bit like this. When new people move into our group, it is the opportunity and duty of those who are already here to make those people feel one with us. Until and unless those people feel one with us, they won't get very far with our type of management, and they won't be worth much to themselves or to us. We want management without formality. We want professional management, yet on a personal basis. We want cooperative management. Of course, we have defined lines of authority. Of course, we want people to know what they're responsible of. Of course, we expect everyone to know what their job is and to do it. Such things are only common sense in any form of management, whether the business is large or small. Management of the type I speak of is more than cold and personal diagrams of authority and responsibility. It is more than hiring people and directing their efforts. Good management is making people do what you want them to do voluntarily, willingly, and enthusiastically. Good management is taking sincere interest in the welfare of people you work with. It is the ability to make individuals feel that you and them are the company, not merely employees of it. Good management is not just an organization. It is an attitude inspired by the will to do right. Good management is your own worthiness to have and hold the confidence of others. Your associates really want to trust, respect, admire, and believe in you. It is your own fault if you don't, or if they don't. We cannot expect others to have confidence in us if we are deceitful, if our promises are not kept, if we resort to trickery. If we are sincere in our hearts, or if we are not sincere in our hearts. A person unworthy of another's confidence is half-beaten before the first move is even made. So for the last 2 weeks here at FSTS, we've had the wonderful opportunity, again under the tutelage of Ms. Lauren and Ms. Megan, to really understand the development tools that it takes to make a successful supervisor here at UPS. We've had to get out of our comfort zones, public speaking included. Right now, I'm still kind of had the shakes right now as I'm doing this right now, I'm sure you could tell. But for a lot of us, we have to go out there and public speak because when we get information from people above us, we have to be able to synthesize that and provide to our employees so they know what's going on, because they have a right to know what's going on. They may not necessarily need to know all the exact numbers and such, but they have a right to know. Also with FSTS, we've had to work with people who are strangers. With the exception of Ms. Lauren, 2 weeks ago, I didn't know any of you even existed on this planet. Now, after 2 weeks, I feel I have a great source of networking, and I hope you all feel the same with me. And that's important, because when you get back to your work areas, you may have a new employee. That's a new human being with all the baggage that comes with being a human being, the bad and the good. So this class has really given us the development tools in order to be successful. But now it's time for action, guys. Employees won't care about terminologies or models. You know, who is this person you try to tell me? Is it Jim or James Casey? Who is this person you try to talk to me here? They're not going to care about all the history. They're not going to care about all the terminologies and models, like I said. They want leadership now. Because I think that's something that's not really understood by all of us, because we all have to do it. We all have to make the venture to come over here. But people are interrupting their lives because they trust UPS and they trust you. Some people are leaving situations that are very heinous, and this might actually be the one bright spot of their day. We may have people who are victims of unreported spousal abuse, or people who are going through tremendous illnesses and they're having to work here despite being sick because they need that insurance. We owe it to them to at least be able to lead them properly. But it is now time for us to make sure that we avoid the pitfalls of bad leadership, such as cold and unconcerned command, where you're treating everybody just as a GEMS ID. You're not taking the time to know your employees, to know their positives, to know their strengths, to know their weaknesses. No, you go over there, regardless of how well you can do it, go over there because I'm the boss, you do what I say. You're not going to get very far. Or presenting yourself in a way where it's obvious you have no personal investment in your position. You're just there for a paycheck. Because your employees radiate from your energy. If you come to work with negative energy, or if you're somebody who has a problem with your bosses and you're knocking the company to all of your employees, well, they work for the same company too. And well, if the boss is not having a good time, how do you expect me to have a good time and have pride in the fact that I'm a UPSer? But another thing I want to bring up briefly is it's very dangerous to be friends with your employees. But just because you're not going to be friends with your employees doesn't mean you can't be friendly. When you have a relationship such as what we have here, you don't want to really intermingle the personal and work, because if one thing goes awry, it's going to affect the other. But when you see each other in and out of work, it creates a bad environment. But just because you're not really willing to be friends with your employees, when they earn your respect, it could be an absolute friendly relationship. So now it's time to start motivating your people when you go back to your work areas. You may have a shy employee who doesn't really want to talk too much, may like to be by themselves, isolate themselves. Well, you just went through 2 weeks of public speaking. Go up to them, talk to them. Even as you are talking, you are public speaking to an audience of one. And for some of you here who may have had an issue with public speaking, start off with one person and start building up from there, because your employees are looking at you as their leader. Because let me tell you something, I've been here 14 years. And when you start talking about people who have division manager and president and CEO next to their name, for a lot of people who work here, especially with the unionized workforce, they consider these people the almighty power, nameless and faceless higher-ups who work in their ivory tower, who only come down periodically to walk amongst us commoners. But you, every single one of you here, your face, they recognize. And with that recognition, they know your name. And with that name, they trust you. And with your name, they know your title. And it's not supervisor. It's my supervisor. That is such a tremendous title, ladies and gentlemen. Don't treat that worthlessly. Appreciate it. Grow it. Develop it. I wish every single one of you the very best of luck in all your future endeavors. If any time, I'm more than willing to give you my contact information. Again, networking. I may not ever be able to help you, but you never know. So with that said, ladies and gentlemen, I really do appreciate your time. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Shelby. To the audience, I'm sure you guys can see why the Legacy Award winner was who it was. You know, this is my, maybe 7th or 8th graduation this year, and man, I didn't want to come up to follow him. I don't even know if I can follow him. We should just end it right here. No, but great job, Shelby. Thank you so much again. And you know what Shelby touched on was super important. You know, one thing that you guys are walking away from this class with a lot. You know, you learned about the power that you hold in your positions, the power that you have to change somebody's day, to make somebody's day, to make somebody's career. You have a lot of power in that. You also have gained partnerships in this class. And look to the person next to you. That's a partner that you have now. Partners for life. You know, through this class, man, how many? 12 plus myself, Megan. Think about everyone who came to this class to speak to you. Think about Captain Norman Seawright. That's a lot of partnerships that you guys are walking away from here with. People that you can reach out every day if you need someone to vent to. Someone you can reach out to if you need someone to celebrate in your success, or if you want to celebrate in someone else's success. Reach out to your partner. If you need feedback, if you have questions, or if you just need someone to talk to, you guys have gained multiple partners who will be here for you throughout your careers and even outside of your careers if you need it. So don't forget that. That is something that I hold true to my heart when it comes to this company and all the partnerships that I have gained. I treasure each and every one of them, including the 11 of you guys. So thank you. All right, guys. So with that, I just want to end it off by saying you guys have been a really special class. You know, it's hard because this is the last class of the year. I don't want to see you all go. I want to do the day 10 FSTS and it's in the books, and then see you guys next week so I can say day 11. But unfortunately, I can't do that. But I want to let you all know that we gave you a toolbox, and I want to hear from you all on how those tools are working for you. So please reach out to us. We want to hear about the wonderful, great things that you all are doing in the company. And I expect to see greatness from each and every one of you throughout the rest of your careers here. So with that, we will end FSTS. Congratulations.